So what's up, everybody? This is one of the first episodes of the Indie Comics Corner. My name is Christian. I got Sean on here today with me. Today we're going to be covering a topic that really kind of pertains to us. Again, I announced in the intro video that we're both indie comic artists. So we're going to be talking a lot about indie comics on here, as well as many other things kind of in the pop culture genre pretty much. But today we're going to talk a little bit about how indie comics are changing the comic industry. But first, how you doing, Sean?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's late at night. I think we both, I made mention in the intro that we both got 4 kids. So it's a little hectic. We both kind of struggle a little bit to get, back into like our drawing and stuff like that. I think on one of the episodes I mentioned that I was going to post our comics on screen. So now actually would be a good time to do that. I'm going to point somewhere. And at some point, it's going to be on the screen. I'm going to edit it in somewhere. So just start pointing somewhere. It'll be somewhere on the screen. I'll put them up and just put a little quick scroll through or something of both our comics so people can see. And obviously, we're both on Webtoons, both on Global Comics. You can search mine, either search Legacy or search Cross Stories, or you can search my name, Christian Stubbs. Yours is under Chaotic.
Yeah, Chaotic.
Sean
Halliburton. Yeah,
Halliburton will come up. Cool. So we're deep in the space, you know what I'm saying? Having kids though, I don't read manga and comics as much as I used to, which I wish I, had more time for it and stuff like that. But I still stay in it. Like I said, obviously I'm still watching stuff like X-Men 97. I'm still trying to play games. I'm still trying to stay in the culture a little bit. So, but yeah, today we wanted to kind of dive into that topic because I feel like there's really a kind of split niche of people, split demographic of people that really read manga versus American comics, which I hear manga is just the Japanese way of saying comics or whatever, but you know what I mean. I feel like there's a lot of I've seen some videos saying that mainstream comics are dying, the death of mainstream and stuff like that, and in my opinion I feel like it is because I'm not really that into it. I'm not like, and I consider mainstream literally just Marvel, DC, like the big two. I've never been into that. We're both mid-30s, so we both came up right when Japanese anime and manga started coming up, and that's what we were drawn to. Like probably the first, I don't know if it was actually the first I ever seen, but the first anime I actually got into was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think for both of us, that was really the first thing.
Yeah, one of them. Yep.
Yeah, one of them. And obviously we used to watch, a lot of Sonic, a lot of Beyblade, a lot of stuff, the Saturday AM cartoons and different stuff like that, which I don't even know if you can consider, like Beyblade's in the same category as Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like anime, but it's not.
Exactly. So, we kind of grew up in a different era, but I got friends who are 40s, 50s, who are deep into Marvel, Predator, Terminator, like deep sci-fi and like different stuff like that, those old American comics. And I just never really been into that. I think the only American comic I've really been into lately, and to be honest, it's not even that much, it has been the Cyberpunk comic. And to be honest, I can't even tell you nothing about that. I can't even tell you nothing about it. I barely read it. You know what I'm saying? It's on Global Comics, so I check it out from here from time to time. But yeah, just, going a little bit deeper into that, I personally feel like it's not necessarily the death of American comics. It's more so just it's divided by age almost. You know what I mean? Now I do see a big, one thing I make mention of is I do see a big difference in viewership. So I was looking the other day on Global Comics because, they still got X-Men. They still got, obviously they got Invincible and stuff like that on there now, but there was this big one that came out where they revamped the Batman story again, which is part of the reason I don't read it, because I'm tired of reading the same stuff, and just in comparison to like some of the indie comics that are on Webtoons, it did not have that many views. It didn't have that many subscribers in comparison. Now it still had hundreds of thousands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was still a lot. So don't get me wrong, it's still a lot. But in comparison to some of the like slice of life comics on Webtoons, them joints be having like 13 million views and a ton of subscribers. So that in itself kind of shows you like this younger generation is really into these new age comics that are made by independents. And I think that's cool, and I think it's good for indie artists, obviously, and I think it's good for the genre all together, because it gives more opportunity to people like me and you. When you look at the space of content creation, you ask somebody that's in their 20s, under 30 years old, I guarantee you they can name more streamers than they can name actors.
Mm-hmm.
They're more familiar with the Drewskis, the Kai Sanats, ISO Speeds, and you probably tell them, you probably mention Brad Pitt, they'll probably like, who's that? You know what I'm saying? Like their actors, their form of actors are streamers. So the nature of stuff is changing because there's so much accessibility online. And I think that's great because it gives opportunity to everybody. Nowadays, I promise you, I guarantee you there's streamers that are making as much as some actors. Maybe not like super high-end actors or whatever. And maybe so, who knows? I mean, some of them make multi-millions, who knows? I don't go around checking how much they make. But it's the same in the comic book space, where you got people that can come up and make just as much as reputable artists like Todd McFarlane, or I don't even know them, to be honest with you. I forget isn't Todd McFarlane, does he do Spawn or does he do G.I. Joe or one of those?
I ain't even about to give you no false information, because I don't even know.
He's the first name that came to my mind because I hear about it all the time. Just
I probably should know, but I know.
Bottom line, this ain't a factoid channel. We ain't coming with facts and different stuff. This is strictly opinion. This is all we all mostly talking about indie comics and different stuff and how we view comics and stuff. So, if you want to get a bunch of facts on time frames and best artists and all that, this ain't the channel for that. We just pretty much coming on here having some fun, talking about talking in the space. But yeah, Sean, I mean, what do you think, man? I mean, I personally like the change because it there's a lot more diversity in the storytelling, even in comparison to Shonen Jump stuff too. Shonen Jump was getting very repetitive as well, but especially the American comics like that. In my opinion, and I hate to say it out loud, I would consider American comics as just straight trash at this point.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking, the reason why a lot of these like indie comics are starting to take off more is because, like you said, it's more original at this point. Like we've been getting so much rehash of like Superman and Batman and X-Men. Like we've been getting so many like recreates of these same characters that you kind of know, even if it's a brand new story, you still know the origin or like the background of where these characters came from. You mentioned Wolverine. You know who Wolverine is. So it's kind of like when you bringing in these new independent artists, now you have fresh ideas. Now you have new characters that we don't even know of. Exactly. And we're now being introduced to something new. So it's kind of like now we have something else different that we could follow, that you can follow these characters. You can now learn more about who they are instead of knowing, all right, I'm just getting another Peter Parker story for the third time. And, nothing against that, because Spider-Man, one of my favorite superheroes.
Yeah, he's probably the only one's hanging in there,
after
really.
Wow, you get tired of that. It's like, all right, I need something new. Yeah. So I'm thinking that's more so what it is. And that's drawing in new generation. I think even old generation, like people within our age limit or age range. A lot of us is even at that point where it's just like, all right, I've seen these stories so much that now that I'm seeing all this opportunity to see all this new stuff, it helps. So
jumping over there, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that, man. Because it what they're doing too. The reason they keep rehashing the same stories is because they. I don't know if you've watched some of the newer, like Spider-Man is a perfect example. I'm glad you brought that up, because like if you watch some of the new series, like now he's got a cell phone. Now it's more. They talk about social media on there. They're rehashing the story over and over and over again.
Yeah, but they're modernizing it.
To modernize it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think the problem with that though is it defeats the canon. They've done that so many times. I know that you're trying to introduce it to the next generation, but then you go back and change the story, and now nothing really matches up, because now some characters are different. Some of them characters die in different universe. Now they got a ton of multiverse. Their way to canonize everything is to make it this multiversal thing.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. That's partially what when it gets too deep into some weird timeline stuff, like time travel, multiversal stuff, it loses me.
Yeah, it's cool and done right, but when it's overly drawn out or like you got, like you said, 50 different Spider-Man and all this. It's just kind of like, all right,
it's too much.
Now we're doing a lot.
Yep. So, I would almost like it better if they just stuck to like, okay, Miles Morales was meant initially to be that next generation. Hate to say it, but just get rid of Peter Parker at this point. Batman, they did it at a point where back when we was teenagers, they came out with Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Get rid of Bruce Wayne. I'm like, seriously, like you get tired. Like there's no way you expect me to care about Bruce Wayne's parents dying for the 57th time in a different way. Like nobody cares. Like, okay, you're trying to get the next, I get it. You're trying to get the next generation to care, but how are you catering to the old fans? Like we want to see next gen. You know, that's what I like about what they're finally starting to do in like Dragon Ball. We finally saw like when they, before Toriyama passed, we finally saw them like, okay, we're about to start giving you Goten, Trunks, Gohan's era. And even I'd rather see this new Broly too. Like all them, like give us them. You know, you would even in Naruto, they gave us Boruto. Like boys want to see the next gen stuff. You know, now JJK, they're doing the Modella stuff. And, you know, I haven't read any of that, but I watched a little bit of YouTube stuff on that with Deborah and different Daburo.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's cool. You know, it's cool that they're continuing it. Like nobody wants to see a rehash. Like unless you're just flat out like Dragon Ball, they're remastering it.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying, to see like modernized art, because you know, in all honesty, like Dragon Ball art and even old Dragon Ball Z, the art was not that great. So if we were to see like the art in like the Tournament of Power art style, or even like some of the latest movies art style, that'd be pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? But don't, like, if they don't change the story, that's even better. Like I don't want to see the story change. But you know, I think it's a big thing to kind of just talk about, because it's a positive change of direction, I think, for creators, for younger audiences and stuff like that. And it's a way to keep the niche going, because I feel like if we just keep seeing the same stuff over and over again, that is what kills the industry. Because it's like, okay, this is boring. Like we keep saying the same stuff. Like that's what turns people off from it. Because like Marvel, for instance, after Infinity Wars, the movie, I don't even watch. I don't watch the series. I don't watch none of it, bro. I'm done with it. And I guarantee you there's a lot of people like that. But yeah, man, I just thought that'd be a good topic to talk about. You know, I'm thinking too, not that we got to brainstorm on this episode, but you know, I think I sent you a text earlier, and it's funny because you sent me a what if text with that Gohan joint. If Gohan went Super Saiyan versus Nappa, I thought that was dope, because it low-key makes sense too, because it's like, if Gohan, you know, based on the story, and they kept talking about this legendary Super Saiyan, he kind of fit the persona the way he had to get power. It would have made sense. So I thought that was pretty dope. But I like seeing those what ifs. And then I sent you the Darth Vader joint if he never got melted in that molten lava.
Right.
I hate you. If that never happened, and then Padme stayed alive, and they actually joined, and he was still a Sith Lord, and they raised Luke and Layla together, that would be silly tight. And I know they got they got what if joints for Star Wars too.
Yeah, I think so. I think they do
Marvel what ifs.
Yeah,
I might check that out. I think they actually do got Star Wars what ifs, but
I know they got like them. I can't even think of the name of it, but it's like the ones where they like the little short episodes, but they like I don't know if they canon stuff or not.
Oh yeah, like how they almost like some of them are anime looking, some of them
some might be like 3D, some might be like the different art styles and stuff. Yeah,
and that was real. What was the Halo joint they did that was similar to that? Remember they had a Halo and they had all these skits of different similar to that. But anyway, that pretty much concludes this topic in this episode what we were talking about. You know, we'll come up with some topics for the next episode and whatnot. But you know, if you like what we were talking about today, share your opinions. You know, like, share, subscribe. We definitely like to hear what people's opinions are on where the comic book industry is going. We want to get on here, chat about it, and hear everything everybody has to say. So with that, that's pretty much it. Peace out.
Peace.